Hamlet, Prince of Denmark, who was fond of manly games and pastimes, was a brave and noble young man. Then a great sorrow fell on him and changed him entirely when his father, old King Hamlet, died suddenly in a mysterious way. Hamlet loved his father so much and was heartbroken. His mother, soon after her husband's death, married her husband's brother Claudius. Claudius, a cunning and evil man, then became king of Denmark. Hamlet was grief and his mind was filled with dreadful suspicion. He was told that his father died from the snake bite while he was sleeping in his garden. Was it true? Had his uncle murdered him? Had his mother known about his uncle's evil purpose? Had she helped him in it? These thoughts tormented the noble mind of the young prince and almost drove him mad. Hamlet's best friend, Horatio, came to him with a strange story that at midnight, while soldiers were guarding on the castle walls, has seen the ghost of old King Hamlet. They had seen its face and had noted the deep sadness on it. It opened its mouth to speak to them. Then the morning cock had crowed and it had vanished. The next night, both friends were waiting with a guard on the castle walls. They stood shivering in the icy winds and darkness. Suddenly, Horatio touched Hamlet's arm. "Look, my lord," he whispered. "Here it comes." The ghost of his father stood in front of young Hamlet. In great agitation, Hamlet asked, "Are you, my father? Why have you come? What do you want me to do?" Silent Ghost beckoned Hamlet to leave his two companions and to follow it to the edge of the castle wall. Horatio, who feared for his friend's safety, tried to hold Hamlet back. But Hamlet pushed him away and followed the ghost. The ghost commanded, "Oh, Hamlet, it was said to you that I had died because of a snake bite, yes. And it is your uncle. Revenge my foul murder and leave your mother on the torment of her conscience. Remember." And vanished. Hamlet returned and shared his strange plan revenge and asked to keep it as secret. From next day Hamlet started behaving strangely and the king and queen didn't know what happened but felt that something was driving Hamlet mad. What could it be? An old and wise courtier, Polonius by name, declared that love was the cause of Hamlet's madness. "He loved my daughter Ophelia." Naturally, Polonius was pleased and advised Ophelia to behave coldly towards the prince. Meanwhile, Hamlet was tormented by many thoughts, that how can his mother kill his father, how should he take revenge, and did the ghost spoke the truth? Hamlet soon got a chance to find if King Claudius was guilty or not. A group of actors came to play before the king. Hamlet remembered a play he acted before. He called the actors and discussed the play called, The Murder of Gonzago, in which Duke named Gonzago was poisoned by his cousin and later married his wife. Hamlet asks the actors to play this act before the king and said that the last few lines which they speak will be what Hamlet now says to them. Hamlet made a few changes in the play so that it resembled closely to King Hamlet. He thought to observe the king and queen closely and check if their faces show any guilty. If they do not show any guilt, they are innocent and the ghost was not his father's ghost. The following night, the kings and queen together with the whole court gathered to watch the play. Hamlet and Horatio sat a little apart from the rest in a spot where they could watch the king closely without anyone noticing. The curtain rose on a scene showing the Duke Gonzago and his wife was sitting side by side. The Duchess was saying, "If you die, I shall never marry again. Only a woman who has killed her first husband marries a second one." Hamlet saw his mother grow deathly pale at these words. The next scene showed Gonzago asleep in his orchard. A man came creeping up to him. He knelt beside him and poured poison into his ear. At this, the guilty king cried out in horror. "Look, Hamlet called to him, "He's poisoning him so that he can get his lands." In the next scene, you'll see how he gets his wife as well. Claudius could bear no more. "Lights! Lights!" he shouted. He and the queen hurried out of the hall in terror. The courtiers were astonished at the strange behavior of the king and the queen. Hamlet was now certain that Claudius had murdered his father. He knew that he had to take his revenge now without any delay.